Hello, I'm Courtney. What's up and welcome to Book Talk. Today I'm going to be discussing the fifth and final book in the selection series, The Crown by Kiera. Like I just said, this is the fifth and final book. I finished it yesterday and it was really good. I didn't like it in the beginning, but then it got better and Edelyn really impressed me in this book. So overall, it was a really good finale book, and if you haven't read it yet, you do not want to be spoiled. I will leave now, so bye, not spoiling people. Okay, so The Crown by Kiera. So Edelyn in this book really impressed me, like I said, because she was being really nice and wasn't being cold-hearted. And I loved how when she would send someone home, she would like take them to like a separate room and be like, hey, you know, I don't want you here, and did it in a really nice way. And most of the time the guys that she sent home, like, they wanted to go because they didn't feel like they belonged or didn't want to marry her, or you know, maybe they would fall in love with one of the other guys, Hale and Ian, but yeah, they're goals. I love them anyway, and you know, I thought something was gonna happen between them, and then it did. I was just like, yes, and they were so cute, and for a moment I was like, they're gonna find happiness, and then Edelyn's not, but she did find happiness with Eric, and that made me so happy because in my air book talk I was like, my top 3 dudes are Kyle, Hale, and Eric. Even though Eric's not part of the selection, he still won it anyway, and that made me really happy because Eric's like the sweetest guy on the planet, and oh, I loved him so much, and I loved their relationship so much, and they're just goals, and I'm so happy that Edelyn was just like to her dad. I want to marry Eric instead of Henry, and I'm really glad Henry realized that when he was just like, you are love, and put their hands together. It was so cute, and I'm really glad that in the end, Edelyn went with her heart and married Eric, because that needed to happen, because, I mean, I would have been fine if she married Kyle, but like, they never really loved each other, but I'm really happy for her and Eric, and I just really liked this book. It was just like really sweet, and all this crazy stuff was happening, like with America. I mean, America wasn't like breathing for like 50 pages, but then she came back and that made me really happy, and I'm really glad America and Maxon were really important in this book, because you know, they're amazing. I love them. And what else happened in this book? This book was really short, and I felt like a lot of things were like quickly paced, and I just wanted to be longer so I could spend more moments with these characters, especially Edelyn and Eric. I felt like their relationship was kind of rushed because it kind of all just happened, and how Edelyn was like, oh, I've always felt something for Eric, and I was kind of just like, you did? I don't remember that happening in the air, and I should have reread the air because I literally didn't know anyone in this book except like the most important characters. Like Gunnar, didn't know who that was, didn't know who Ian was, didn't know who Nina was, didn't know who Lady Bryce was, and I really should have reread the air, but I didn't, but that's okay. And oh, speaking of Lady Bryce, I cannot believe that's her aunt. Like when Maxon was telling that story about how his dad had that mistress and that mistress got pregnant, and then he had a half sibling, and that half sibling is Lady Bryce, I was like, oh my goodness, like what even? But that made me really happy though, because Maxon this whole time has had a sibling, but it makes me sad that that sibling, that Lady Bryce, can't be officially a part of the royal family, because if they find that out, she's gonna die, and we don't want that to happen. And I was just so happy when Edelyn was like, oh, don't be like that, Aunt Bryce, and she was just like, I thought I would never get to hear that, and oh, it made me happy. And I just loved the epilogue, how she was talking about happy endings and all those comparisons in the fairy tale romance. It just, oh, it made me happy, and I'm so glad that they're finally making the monarchy and getting rid of the king and queen stuff, because that needed to happen, and they're monarchs for the win, because you know, the king and queen stuff, it was gonna go down anyway one day. It was a terrible government, but overall this book made me really happy, and I'm really sad that this story is over, but it was a good ending, and I hope that Kiera doesn't make more books in this world, because honestly I'm done with it. I don't want to see Edelyn's children, because Edelyn was already enough for me to handle. So yeah, I'm glad I read this. I gave it 4 stars, and it was overall really good. So those are my overall thoughts and feels on The Crown. I'm sorry they're pretty short. I I don't really have much to say for it, but yeah, if you liked this book talk, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to watch more book reviews from me, you click the subscribe button down below. And I'm Courtney. I'll see you all next time with a new video soon, so I will see you then. So, bye! Yo!